Your father kisses you on the forehead every morning before he leaves, 6:14 a.m. Without fail. You have timed it. He smells like coffee and a specific soap, sandalwood, $4.99 from a drugstore, and he says the same thing every single time. Be good. Be smart. Be home before dark. Then he gets into a black Ford F-150 and drives south toward the border, and you do not ask where he is going, because you have learned over 11 years of mornings exactly like this one, that asking is the one thing he will never answer. Your name is Elena. You are 16 years old. You live in a 3-bedroom house in Laredo, Texas, 12 minutes from the Mexican border. The house costs $187,000. Your father bought it in cash in 2014 under a name that is his real name, Daniel Reyes, and a profession listed on the deed as independent logistics consultant. This is technically true in the same way that saying the ocean is wet is technically true. It describes the surface and nothing underneath. Here is what you know about your father. He is 43 years old. He grew up in El Paso, the son of a mechanic and a school librarian. He speaks perfect Spanish with a Chihuahua accent that took him 2 years to master. He has a scar along his left forearm from a knife fight he says happened when he was 19, before he, quote, got his life together. He coaches your school's soccer team on Tuesday evenings, and every single parent thinks he is the nicest man they have ever met. He has never once raised his voice at you. He has never once broken a promise he made directly to your face. Here is what you do not know. Your father has been undercover for 7 years. His deer handler is a woman named Special Agent Carla Mendez, who calls him on an encrypted line every Thursday at 9 p.m. from a number that appears on his phone as Mum. His cartel name is El Primo. Inside the Vega organization, one of the 3 most powerful trafficking networks operating along the Texas-Tamaulipas corridor, he is known as a mid-level logistics coordinator who moves product across 3 border crossing points using a network of legitimate freight companies as cover. He is trusted. He has been trusted for 4 years. It took 3 years to earn that trust, and those 3 years are the 3 years you remember as the ones where something changed in him. Where he started checking the mirrors when he drove. Where he started sleeping lighter. Where he stopped being able to watch the news without something happening behind his eyes that he was very good at hiding, but not quite good enough. You notice everything. This is not a skill anyone taught you. It is what happens when you grow up in a house where the most important things are always happening in the spaces between what is said. The first time you see him with them, you are 13 years old. A Tuesday in August. You are not supposed to be at the warehouse district south of town. You are supposed to be at your friend Marisol's house, studying for a history test. Instead, you are on the back of Marisol's brother's dirt bike, 3 miles from where you said you would be, and you turn a corner on a service road behind a row of freight buildings, and there is your father. He is standing with 3 men you have never seen. All 3 are heavily built. One has visible tattoos along his neck, and they are laughing at something your father just said. Your father is laughing too, not his Tuesday soccer coach laugh, a different laugh, looser, more dangerous. He has not seen you. You are 20 meters away behind a chain-link fence. You watch for 47 seconds before Marisol's brother turns the bike around. You do not speak for the entire ride back. You tell Marisol you have a headache. You go home. You sit on your bed. You do not mention the warehouse to your father that night or any night after. But you begin, from that Tuesday onward, to pay a different kind of attention. The money has always been confusing. Your father earns, officially, $67,000 a year as a logistics consultant. This salary appears on tax returns filed every April with meticulous accuracy. And yet, the house was bought in cash. You have never worried about school fees or clothes or the $3,400 orthodontist bill from 2 years ago that was paid the same week without discussion. Your father drives a truck that costs $48,000. There is always exactly $4,000 in an envelope in the kitchen drawer behind the dish towels. You found it when you were 9 and have checked it every month since. It is always there. It is always exactly $4,000. You do not know if this is DEA operational funds or cartel money, or both running through the same hands into the same drawer, and you have not yet decided if you want to know. At 14, you find the second phone. It is in the lining of a jacket hanging in the back of his closet, a plain black jacket he never wears. A Samsung, not his usual iPhone. Prepaid, 11 contacts, all saved as single letters. MRCJT, and 6 others. The most recent call received 4 days ago, 6:23 a.m., from the contact saved as C duration, 41 minutes. You put the phone back exactly as you found it, jacket lining repressed, jacket returned to the exact angle it was hanging. You have photographs of the contact before and after on your own phone in a folder labeled School Notes. You are 14 years old, and you are already running a counter-surveillance operation against your own father. The cartel knows about you. You learn this at 15 in the most ordinary possible way, a conversation you are not meant to hear, through a half-open kitchen window on a Sunday morning. A man you have seen twice before at the house, introduced always as your father's business associate Marco, 40 years old, gold watch, quiet eyes, is standing in the backyard with your father. You are inside, making coffee. The window above the sink is 3 inches open. Marco says, in Spanish, "Does the girl know anything?" Your father says, "She knows nothing. She is not part of this." Marco says, "Keep it that way." Your father says, "I know how to keep my family safe." His voice when he says this is not the soccer coach voice, or the kitchen table voice. It is the third voice, the one you have been cataloguing for 2 years. Flat. Certain. Belonging to a man who has done things in the dark that the man who braids your hair has never had to answer for. You pour your coffee. Your hands do not shake. You are 15 years old, and your hands do not shake. The DEA makes its move on a Wednesday in March, the year you turn 16. You are in second period app chemistry when your phone vibrates. A text from your father. 4 words. Go to Aunt Rosa. You have an Aunt Rosa. She lives in San Antonio, 2 hours north. You have a bag packed, always, since you were 12. A bag under your bed with 3 days of clothes. Your passport, $800 in cash, your mother's photograph, and a notebook, because your father told you once, casually, in the way he told you things he considered survival information rather than conversation, that a person who is never ready is a person who is always surprised.
You text Marisol that you have a family emergency. You walk out of school at 10:17 a.m. You call an Uber. You do not look back. The arrests happen at 2:00 p.m. that afternoon. 14 members of the Vega organization taken simultaneously across 3 cities. The operation, 7 years in the making, the result of 2,847 hours of undercover work, the documentation of $340 million in trafficking revenue, the dismantling of a network responsible for moving an estimated
2 metric tons of product annually across the Texas-Tamaulipas corridor makes the evening news. The DEA agent whose testimony built the entire case is identified only as a confidential source. His face is not shown. His name is not given. You watch the broadcast from Aunt Rosa's living room in San Antonio, and you know, you have always known, and you sit with that knowledge the way you have sat with every version of it for 4 years, quietly, without letting it move across your face. Your father arrives at Aunt Rosa's house at 11:40 p.m. He looks like himself and also like someone you have never met. He sits across from you at the kitchen table. He does not begin with an explanation. He says, "How much do you know?" You look at him for a long moment. Then you open your phone. You show him the folder labeled school notes, the photographs of the contacts on the second phone, 31 other photographs taken over 4 years in locations and moments he did not know you were documenting. He looks through them in silence. All the way through. He closes the phone. He sets it on the table between you. He looks at you with an expression you have never seen on his face before. It takes you a moment to identify it. It is the expression of a man who has spent 7 years being the most careful person in every room he entered, and has just realized he was never the most careful person in his own house. He says, "You knew." You pick up your coffee cup. You take a sip. You say, "I always knew which one was real." He looks at you. You look back. Outside, Aunt Rosa's neighborhood is quiet and ordinary and completely unaware of the 2 people sitting at this kitchen table with 4 years of silence finally between them like something solid. He reaches across the table and puts his hand over yours. Large hand. Rough. Smells like sandalwood soap. $4.99. The same drugstore. The same 6:14 a.m. The same forehead kiss. The same man underneath everything. The only man he ever actually was. You leave your hand where it is. That is enough. For tonight, that is exactly enough.